Hello, namaste, everyone. Happy Wednesday. How are you all doing? The energy is huge right now with this Mercury retrograde and the new moon tomorrow, Thursday, June 10th, in the sign of Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which is the planet of communication, and it is about communication, any electronics, travel. It controls all of that. So pay attention to the words that you're speaking, any emails that you're sending, any communication that you are having, text messages, any of that. Really pay attention because it's easy to say or do something that you didn't mean to, or to have someone take it harsher than what you meant, or to misunderstand. And so really give yourself time, extra time, to process anything that is being told to you and anything that that you're experiencing, so that you're not with this energy of confusion right now, with this energy of issues and misunderstandings right now, that you're not getting caught up in that. So Gemini covers the third house, which is the house of sharing in the sign. It also covers like arms, hands, lungs, shoulders, that sort of thing. So anyway, it's fantastic. So just pay attention to where that falls in your chart, Gemini, because it's going to be really amplified. And if you have Gemini or Sagittarius, which is what the full moon was 2 weeks ago with the lunar eclipse, tomorrow is going to be the solar eclipse and the Ring of Fire, which is so huge. It's amazing. So I want to tell you about my upcoming guest today, because I'm so very excited that she's on, and her story is just incredible. She's just an incredible person, and I'm very fortunate to have known her for many years now and watched her career just skyrocket and excel. And yeah, it's just amazing. And I just want to shout out, hi, Angela and Pauline, thank you. So anyway, my guest, Tessandra Chavez. Oh, she is a 2-time Emmy-winning choreographer. She has just done absolutely incredible, breathtaking work over the years. And she is known for combining contemporary and hip hop and creating kind of a new style. She expects excellence out of her students. And she does not, I can tell you from watching her, she does not tolerate mediocre output. So the kids, while she knows they're not going to be perfect, she expects them to put forth a perfect effort. And what a great standard, what a great example to set for kids of, yeah, you may not get this down the first time, you may not have this the 10th time, but I expect you to give it your all every time. And isn't that a great lesson to teach young kids as they're growing up, that especially in a world today where it's fake and it's people feel like they have to have something down just right, just perfect in order to be okay and accepted? No, it's about your effort. It's about the input that you put in. And Tessandra just embodies all of this, which is just amazing. So one of her Emmys was for her work, her breathtaking work that she created for NBC's World of Dance Season 3, sorry. And for her own company, which she started, you'll hear this, at the young age of 15. She has worked with so many different professionals over the years. One of her Emmys was with Derek and Julianne Hough. And she, in addition to her 2 Emmys, she has worked on television. She's created masterful work for legendary artists such as Justin Bieber, Jennifer Lopez, Janet Jackson, Paula Abdul, the band Muse. In fact, their video featuring Catherine McCormick and William Wingfield, they were both stars of So You Think You Can Dance. It has hit well over 50 million views on YouTube. So go check that out, because that is her work, her incredible, amazing work. As I said, she's just so talented. She's done Dancing with the Stars, Holiday with the Hose, World of Dance. She's done Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition, D-Trix's Dance Showdown, Disney's Dance Crew, and the film Heartbeats, directed by the pioneer of dance films, Dwayne Adler. Most recently, Tessandra choreographed the new hit parade for Disney's Magic Happens, featuring music by Todrick Hall. The new parade brings a fresh new contemporary spin on the classic Disneyland parade. So that is just amazing. And I'm going to let her share more about her story and her incredible professional company that is still doing incredible shows today. So Tessandra, would you please join us so we can carry on this conversation about your incredible and amazing work that you do?
Yeah,
Hi!
that
Yay!
Yay.
Oh, so I know you grew up in San Diego. I know you grew up to a single mom that struggled. And in fact, you so kindly, I think this is, I love it when professionals that do exceptionally well turn around and buy their mom a house. And I know that you did that. And I think that's just so heartwarming and fantastic of you. So tell us how this all began. You started dancing when you were 5?
Yes, I started dancing when I was 5, and I loved it. I fell in love. I was obsessed, and I often say, I think to be a master or successful at anything, you need a healthy form of obsession, meaning that you have to be willing to focus on it diligently day after day. And for me, when I found dance at 5 years old, it was a wrap. I was like, I feel the most free in this space. I feel like it's Candyland and full of magical flowers. And I just thought it was so cool. And it was a wrap. I told my mom, this is what I ever, and she supported that dream and was like pushing me along the whole time.
That is fantastic. I love it when, parents will allow their kids to pursue their dream and not put them down for that just because they don't understand it. And I think it's really important to say, and I know that most of the listeners out there, people that are going to watch this after the fact, are of the same feeling that our kids came along to pursue their dreams, not to fulfill the parents' dreams.
Yes.
And I know you've seen it. I've seen it being in the dance world. The parents that are pushing their child to fulfill their dreams versus the parents supporting the child pursuing their dreams. And there's a difference.
Exactly. Yeah, we have to live our own lives. We're separate beings, and I don't have children, so I can't speak to that. But in just doing my own work as a human being, realizing that we're really responsible for our own happiness and our own journey. and our own decisions, especially once we hit 18.
Yes, yes, definitely. Definitely. So you started choreographing at a very young age as well.
Yeah. I started when I was 11.
Wow.
And it was sort of the bridge from loving dance so much from 5 to 11 that I would just come home and I would learn all these dances and I would just want to make up my own in my bedroom and I would just do it with so much passion and zest and I would explore new territory that hadn't really been explored through dance. So I was learning tap and jazz and modern and hip hop and ballet and all these styles, but I would come home and sort of fuse them all together. It was sort of like all those styles were thrown into my toolbox, and then I was like stirring them like a soup. And it was really fun and exciting. And I had so much to say as a little young excited artist that I was like, I'm going to start my own company. I'm going to gather all my friends and rent a dance studio locally and I'm just going to start setting choreography on all my friends. And I was like, I don't know if they'll listen to me, but I'm going to try to be convincing. And sure enough, I recruited 20 dancers
Wow.
close to age, close to my age, and they respected me and they listened to me. And I don't know how I gathered that respect other than maybe I was put on this earth to be a leader in some capacity. And that's just part of
Absolutely.
my journey. And I accepted that and I wasn't afraid to walk into that. And a lot of that was my mother and also my grandmother sort of supporting and nurturing that leadership quality within me rather than quieting it and saying, no, 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 you're too young for that. And there was a little bit of that apprehension, of course. They were like, oh my God, you're 15. What do you mean you're starting a company? Oh my God, what do you mean you want to be a dance choreographer? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why don't you be a lawyer? And so there was a little bit of that, but ultimately my mom had my back and she knew that I really loved this. And I think her advice of maybe be a lawyer was just her own fear because we had grown up poor
Mhm.
and she just wanted me to be okay like every other mother wants their child to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I think absolutely you were born to be a leader. And I think that is a perfect example that your peers respected you.
Mhm.
You have this presence. I know I've witnessed it in a room full of hundreds, if not thousands, of kids. You have a presence that you command attention and respect. And um, for them to put forth that excellent effort. Not that they're always going to dance at an excellent level,
Right.
but that that output, that their effort has to be at that high level. And I know personally, because you taught my daughter, I know what a huge gift it was for her to have the opportunity to dance, to be taught by you and to experience you, because that showed her you didn't have to be the absolute best, but you put forth that effort and you will be rewarded for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love your daughter, by the way.
She
She's so
loves you.
special and one of the kindest souls I've ever come across. And that's a testament to Dawna because you loved Lee and she became her fullest, brightest self. Like she literally is like a flower in a room. And I always thought that about her. But yes, you instilled work ethic in her. She came in and she was ready to do the work. And I love that. It was so easy for me to bring out the best in her because she was ready and so you know, emotionally healthy and bright eyed, but also so smart. Like the kids have to be ready,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
part of getting them ready is good parenting, parents who say, hey, your teacher is going to be tough on you, but it's with love. Don't take it as rejection. It doesn't mean they don't like you if they correct you. It actually means they love you. It's important, especially as we get kids from the social media generation, that we don't enable them and coddle them and say, oh, no, it's okay. we can't cater to their fears, and you never catered to Cassie's fears. She
Mm.
was fearless right when she stepped into the room.
Well, I can't remember if it was you that said it to them, or possibly Theo, which is um, an associate of yours and another dance teacher that's phenomenal, um, and good friend of yours, or if it was Lisa that said it to them. But I remember early on when Cassie was competing, and we were starting as a studio to go to all these different workshops and competitions and so on, conventions. And I remember the girls being told that if a teacher gives you a correction, you take it as a compliment
Yes.
because they see a potential in you. And so I thought that was a really good lesson.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not sure if that was you. It may have been you at the time. I don't remember exactly, and I apologize for that. But I know that you said it at other times to the girls
Yeah.
as well. So I don't know if you were the first one, but I know that you reaffirmed
Yeah,
that
it's a common
philosophy.
thing in dance. And I always say life is about perspective.
Hmm.
We see something, do we see rejection as a teacher, or do we see rejection as a failure? We always have an opportunity to process how we see these things. So absolutely, it's same with dance. If I'm correcting a dancer in front of me, they can go, "Oh, she hates me, she thinks I'm not great." Or she can go, "No, she believes in me and she just wants me to be the best possible dancer that I can be." Which is true, because when I teach, like, that's the fulfillment, is seeing this dancer transform right before my eyes,
Hmm.
reaching their full potential and seeing the joy on their face from achieving that.
Yes, yes. Which you definitely have a gift, and I know as a parent, I appreciated your gift and influence.
Mm.
So let's go back to starting your company at 15.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Wow.
I started it, and people ask me, like, young choreographers or young creators, they're like, "What's your advice?" And my advice is always just do it. I was 15 and I was like, this is what I want to do. This is what my heart says I should be doing. And it was deeper. It was this deeper internal intuitive clock that just knew, this is your journey. Open that path and walk in it. And I did it. I started it. I made it a nonprofit, and it was a very successful organization for about 10 years in San Diego. And I hope that I was able to help and touch a lot of lives, whether it be the dancers who passed through there or the audience who witnessed the choreography that I did, although as imperfect as it was. And, you know, it's, it was a cool journey. That was sort of my life in San Diego before I moved to LA in 2004.
Hmm. And so now your company is Unity LA,
Hmm.
and you've had it there since 2004 or before then?
2005.
2005. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. And it still is going strong.
Yes, yes. They competed on World of Dance
Mhm.
a couple years ago, and they got second place, and I'm so proud of them. They really were 10 of the most incredible dancers you could ever imagine in Los Angeles, and also 10 of the most beautiful human beings that I've ever worked with. And the dancer is the human being. The best dancers show who they are as human beings in their performance. And I was lucky enough to work with those 10 incredible genius artists. And it was a tough ride on World of Dance, but
Mhm.
again, it's perspective. How do we look at it? Is it, oh, it was a tough ride, it was terrible, or it was a tough ride and man, I learned a lot and I'm so grateful.
Yes, and it was. I mean, there were phenomenal pieces that you did on that show with your company, and for people watching, people that catch this in the recording, Go look that up and see if you can find the Unity LA, the World of Dance pieces, because they were absolutely breathtaking. I
Thank
know
you.
they even brought out emotion in the judges.
Yeah, yeah. We had a judge, Neo. I think he said he had never cried from a piece
Mhm.
before. Or Jennifer Lopez would always say she got goosebumps when she watched dance choreography, which is a common thing. You know, if dance is done really authentically and well, it will evoke an emotion in you when you watch it. And one of the pieces that we did that ended up later winning an Emmy, Neo got very emotional watching, and it really touched him. And that piece specifically was about me growing up without a father and how that affected me, and not realizing it affected me until later in life. And I really went, okay, I thought that void didn't matter, but it does matter. And it's important for me to process. And as an artist of movement, I thought, what better way than to put that childhood trauma into art and let the 10 dancers that I love tell my story, and then hopefully it'll be seen by many people who maybe will find some healing through watching this piece or be touched by it in any way. If they were touched by it in any way, then I feel like I've done my job, you know, in this lifetime, because that's really what it's about, is our human relationships and connection, whether it's in person like you and I have, or whether it's through a computer screen or a television screen. You know, we all have a special gift to share in this life, and it's really about if we choose to step into it.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Well said. Completely. And it's so beautiful that you did take your trauma and you did make this beautiful piece to share. You use it as a stepping stone, not as a boulder to hold you back and to block you. You use it as a stepping stone to propel yourself forward. And how courageous of you to be that vulnerable, to put that out there in the world. And what a great example for other people that grew up without fathers, because there's a lot of people that have grown up without fathers. And you gave them inspiration and hope, and you showed them that you don't have to let that block you or hold you back. And that is so beautiful. And that's part of the beauty of the pieces that you create. You share from your heart, and it shows up on the dance floor in these dancers. And yeah, it's moving because it's real and it's your life, and it's bringing it to life. And yes, absolutely, together we are better. We are humans that need that human to human contact. We are not meant to be alone, not at all. And we're here to support each other and to learn from each other and to share our struggles as well as our successes. Both. It's not about just celebrating the successes, it's about sharing our journey, sharing our struggles, sharing the realness and the rawness of our lives, which is a beautiful mess. you know?
It really is. And speaking of like childhood trauma, as you know, as being one of my friends, you know, we are we ever fully healed? Are we ever perfect? No, not really. Not really. So I say to anyone who's going to watch this, we're never going to feel perfect or like, okay, I finally made it. I'm finally okay. It's really about being along for the bumpy ride and finding some laughs along the way, and a lot of tears along the way. You know, it's embracing both. And one of the mottos I try to live by, which is really hard and not easy all the time, is I always tell myself there is strength in vulnerability. Meaning,
Absolutely.
just because, you know, people see me as this all powerful dance choreographer, um, and they see me so strong on that stage when I'm teaching, that I also let these kids and even parents in the room know that I'm also fragile, that I also have had a bumpy ride, and that I am doing the best I can always. And I think as a leader, it's just really important to share those vulnerabilities so that people go, okay, she's not perfect. She's just not holding the Emmy like, oh, here I am. Life is so happy, because that's not reality.
Right, right. Yes, very, very well said. Completely. And it helps people know that you are real, you know, because deep down, everyone knows that nobody's perfect. You know, we see these people in magazines, we see these people on TV, and, you know, we're shown only the positive things, only the good things, only what they want us to see. And I know it has caused a lot of like body shaming issues for especially women, but
Yeah.
somewhat men too, you know, of this is what the perfect person looks like. This is what, and so when you are in a position of leadership, when you are in the public as much as you are, and you are impacting thousands and thousands of lives every year, it is so important to be real, which you are. You know, you share your heart and your soul along with your many gifts and talents with the world. And that is what part of what makes you so special because you are so real and you are willing to be vulnerable and you are willing to share your heart, you know, as well as the incredible choreography that you create. You know, you also share you, and I think that is what makes your choreography even more impactful because
Yeah.
people get to know the magnificent person behind it.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
what was it like? I know that there are people that are going to want to know what was it like to work with Justin Bieber? What was it like to work with, you know, all these different famous people that you have? You know, what has that been like?
Well,
The
a,
hose.
a dream come true, honestly.
Mhm.
Really a dream come true. I really believe in manifestation and what you project into the universe, and that frequency that you vibrate, good and bad, sort of
Mhm.
coming back to you. And I think since childhood, I sort of manifested these connections. And when I moved to LA, I was told that I had to fit into a box of one style. And then I was like, but that's not me. I want to win authentically. I want to win being exactly who I am. And that meant having to be patient for 10 years as my career didn't pick up. But I stayed stubborn and steadfast on the mission of just staying true to myself.
Mhm.
And through that, I ended up manifesting working with, you know, childhood idols through just being authentic and trusting myself, trusting my heart, and knowing what would fulfill me. And so when I worked with these artists, it was really just a pinch myself moment. Like when I walked in the room and worked with Paula Abdul and,
Mhm.
you know, felt how much she loved and respected me and was happy to have me there and happy with my work. And I had followed her journey, and just being able to connect with her, I felt such a kinship there where she really understood my journey as well. And you know, another childhood idol I got to teach for was Debbie Allen. I taught for her studio for 6 years. And her studio, what I love about it is it's in Los Angeles, and it really is a beautiful organization for dancers who are underprivileged to come and learn dance. And I really believe that dance can save lives, and I believe that her studio is doing that. And I was really happy to contribute to her mission for the 6 years that I did. Working with Jennifer Lopez, being a Latina female, and being able to work face to face with her and feeling her passion and work ethic and determination to be great was awesome. She is such a strong and powerful woman that it really reminded me that so often in our society, strong, powerful women aren't always celebrated. They're sort of called the B word, which I won't say. But I think that's really unfortunate because it's time for women to come and stand up and say, no, we can be CEOs. We can be leaders of anything we want to do, and we can lead people. And what's beautiful about women is we can lead people with empathy and compassion and sort of see the bigger picture and really march an army of people to greatness if we're allowed to. So I'm hoping in my next journey of life that I can really be the example and also open the door and pave the way for other strong women leaders to get up and achieve their dreams. So for me, J Lo sort of, exemplifies that. You can say whatever you want about her, like her or not. I know there's a lot of public opinion about her, but you cannot deny the enormous amount of success and work ethic,
Mhm.
what she's done. You just have to respect it. Um, and Justin Bieber, I didn't get to meet him, but I do have a cool story about that. I set a piece for his tour last year, and I got a phone call from the rehearsal director the day after Justin came in to watch the piece that I set, and the rehearsal director said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know you did beautiful work. Justin Bieber is crying watching your number." And I thought that was
Mhm.
so sweet and moving and um, affirming to my mission on this amazing planet. So a dream come true is is the short answer to what it was like to work with all those childhood uh, icons that I looked up to forever. It was like, is this really happening? Oh my God.
Yes, yeah. In fact, I was going to ask you specifically about Debbie Allen because her name has been associated with dance for decades now, and she is phenomenal. And that must have been just such a cool experience. And I'm sure one of these days somebody's going to say that about working with you. So, because she's a strong, beautiful woman too.
She's an icon and a legend, and she was
Yeah.
just honored at the Kennedy Center, and she just is another example, like J Lo, of a
Hmm.
strong, powerful woman who's an entrepreneur,
Hmm.
choreographer turned director, actress. Like
Yeah.
she does it all.
She
So
does. Yeah. Very, very talented, very, very talented. And I love that. It is time for people to embrace strong women rather than be I think part of it is the ego. People get in their ego and then they're intimidated by strong women. And it's like, oh, well, they don't need a man. Well, yeah, that may be true. They don't need a man. Doesn't mean that they don't want a partner in their life. Just because they don't need one from a um, financial standpoint or from their career, their career has been the baby, and they've developed this, and it's come from within them, like you, and but it doesn't mean that. Um, Strong women don't want a partner in their life, whether it's male or female. They do, they want that companion, but they want somebody that's going to stand beside them, not in front of them or behind them,
yeah,
be a partner and respect what they do and support what they do. And
absolutely.
I know you've experienced, I've experienced it of men being extremely intimidated
Yeah.
by a strong woman or by I'm becoming stronger and stronger every day and creating my own empire.
Yeah.
And um, yeah, the interaction from men that are stuck in their ego that are like, well, she doesn't need me.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't mean that you can't have a high quality relationship.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's just, it's not the old fashioned, the woman just stays at home.
No.
We're using our brains, we're doing something, we're trying to create something in this world and make it better through various experiences, through sharing our gifts and talents. And that's something that I think everybody should do, male or female,
Yeah.
is figure out what are your gifts and talents for this world, to serve, to help, to lead, to motivate, to inspire, to encourage, to change lives. You have changed lives. I've witnessed it. And that is so for the better in a positive way.
Hmm.
And that's what I believe we are meant to do here in this life, is to discover who we are. And you've fortunately discovered who you were at a very young age, which is so impressive, Cassandra. It's so impressive. And that's why I wanted you on my show, is to show people that it doesn't matter what your age. I'm reinventing myself at 57. So, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you're 15 or 57, you still can discover what your gifts and talents are and step forward and share them and serve and help lift people up.
Yeah.
And I think it's so, I don't think, I know it's so admirable what you have been able to do, and the people that you've been able to touch, and the lives that you've been able to improve and inspire and encourage, which, yeah, you're definitely a very powerful, strong female leader. And I personally am very honored to know you and to be able to call you friend.
Oh,
I
ditto.
love spending time with you. So,
Right back at ya.
so how was it working with the host? I know you did a Christmas special and you won an Emmy with choreographing a dance that they did.
Yeah. Um, so Derek and Julianne are, I call them my guardian angels in this life. Um, from the moment I met them, I just felt the beams of light radiating from from their souls. And I knew when I met them that they would be in my life for a very long time. It was just sort of a magnetic spiritual connection. They are two of the hardest working people I've ever met. Truly just relentless in their work ethic, relentless in their chase for excellence, which is where I think we align so well, is that we're both relentless in our chase for excellence. And, on top of being two of the most talented people I know, they're just great human beings. And I think that's so important when you work with anyone. And as I get older in this business, I realize that life is too short. It's really about working with people you connect with, working with people that elevate you on a moral and a spiritual level, and truly see you authentically and hold you accountable for things with love. And I really look for and seek for like that in my life. And Derek and Julianne, how to hold people accountable with love and really know how to push everyone around them to the next level. And I
Mhm.
love that. They can look at something and go, but it could be better. How can we make it better? How can we make it more effective? And we just sort of push each other in that way. And it's really a beautiful, creative relationship that I'm so grateful for.
I love that. It's that synergy of together you're better, and together you're raising the collective up.
Oh, I love
The
that.
project kind of thing, and that is so beautiful. And that's what we want. We want to find our soul tribe. We want to find those people that we connect with, that in a loving, they see who we are clearly, and they love and accept us unconditionally, and they see our potential, and they lovingly encourage us to be a little bit better, to be not, without being critical of us. It's more out of, you are so phenomenal, and I know you can do it just a little bit better. I see that in you.
Yeah.
And that's where magic is created.
Yeah. And it's healthy.
It is healthy,
It's healthy.
completely healthy. Yes, and it's so beautiful because it's what inspires, and it's what takes people to the next level. And isn't that what we're trying to do, is go to the next level ourselves? We can't stay stagnant. If we're not growing, we're going backwards. If we're not learning, we're not, we're not improving. And I know you feel the same way as I do about this. I want to have a thriving life. I don't want to just survive.
No.
I don't want to just get by.
Right.
I want to thrive.
Yeah.
And and impact other people in a positive way.
Yes. Yes.
And yeah. And so tell us about this new Disney parade choreography that you did. That sounds so exciting. Makes me want to go to Disneyland just to see it.
Well, another dream come true. Like, I grew up going to Disneyland and it being like my favorite childhood place. And I remember watching the parades thinking, oh, I would love to like choreograph like a little part of that one day. And I got the call, it all came together actually before the pandemic. And it got to run the parade I choreographed. It's called Magic Happens. It's basically the new main parade at Disneyland in Anaheim. But it got to run for about a week before the pandemic hit. So then we went into the pandemic, and I think it'll slowly emerge and come back soon. But that was a dream come true, and I got to go to the Disneyland lot and go behind the scenes and rehearse the choreography down Main Street. And I literally, it was another pinch myself moment. I was like, I am in Disneyland late at night. There's no um, attendees here. It's just everyone who works creatively behind the scenes and brings all the magic together. And I was like, wow, what a cool moment. And how talented are they at Disneyland? Like the makeup, the costumes, how it all came together. I think it's such a cool new contemporary version of what we know as the Disneyland parade. So, yes, if you're in California, you should go check it out when it comes back. I
Yes.
would love to take you.
Yeah, deal. We'll plan that. That'll be so fun.
Yeah.
When everything comes back, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So early on, I mentioned that after you had gotten some success, that you so generously bought your mom a house, which is so sweet. And like I said, I love it when people do that, when they, come from not much and then they are successful and they don't forget where they came from, and they don't forget about the people that supported them and loved them and, championed them on. And it just shows your beautiful heart and soul for having your priorities, and not letting your success go to your head and have your ego control your life. You stay grounded in your heart and soul, and I can speak because I know her personally, so I know this is true. That you don't let your ego carry you away with your successes. And yes, it's very impressive that you won 2 Emmys. You didn't let that change you. You still have the same values. You're still hardworking Tessandra Chavez that is in search of excellence and of taking your choreography to the next level, to inspire even more people. And how can you improve on that kind of thing? And that is the heart of you, and that is what makes you so inspiring and so impressive, Tessandra.
Mm, thank you. Yeah, it wasn't even an option for me to buy my mother a home. Um, I witnessed her struggle. I was raised on welfare.
Mhm.
Um, I witnessed her struggle in society. I witnessed how people looked at her less than because she was poor, and maybe they judged her for having a baby. Excuse me. Maybe they judged her for having a baby as a single mom, and I felt that judgment from people as they looked at her,
Mhm.
and even the pity that they felt for me. And that struck my heart so deeply because I knew my mom was doing the best she could, and and also my mom was so young when she got pregnant. I was so grateful that she chose not to abort me. You
Right,
know, back
right.
then it was taboo to have a child in a Catholic Mexican family and you weren't married, and my mother felt a lot of shame, but I'm so grateful that she made the decision to be brave and bring me into this world. And I feel like I owe her everything for that. And I'm so grateful for her strength and bravery to deal with all the judgment of our world and push me and help me fulfill my own dreams. And so for me, it was a no brainer. I wanted to provide a safe space for my mom to grow old in, to retire, and to find some happiness because I know that she struggled a lot in her own journey and dealing with her own traumas. So that was a way I could show her love, and it's one of the things in my life that I'm most proud of, to be honest. Above two Emmys, above any other trophy I have on that bookshelf in my dining room, it's buying my mother a home and knowing that she's safe.
Yes, yes. And that, like I said, that is just, that's so beautiful. And that just speaks to who you are as a person, your integrity, your heart, and your desire to, yeah, be humble, be appreciative, realize that that was an option for your mom, whether or not she had you. And thank God she did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what an incredible gift you are to the world, and especially the world of dance, but to the world. And so it's fantastic that she persevered through that. And I know there is so much judgment out there, and we still have a lot of judgment. There's not as much judgment on people having babies out of being married anymore. Fortunately, that has greatly improved. There's still some in conservative religious sectors, but for the most part, there's not the stigma that there was when you were a child or when I was a child.
Yes.
And I'm glad that we've made improvements on that. It's time that we make improvements on minorities, on people with different skin color, on people with different sexual preferences. It's time for us to step into what we were created to be, which is love,
Yeah.
and sharing our gifts and talents with the world, but not being selective with who we share them with,
Yeah.
because we were given our gifts and talents to share with everyone that wanted to experience what we had to offer. You
Yeah.
know, God, or whatever you believe, God, the universe, whoever you think created you, did not give you your unique set of gifts and talents to hide them and to go, well, okay, I deem you worthy of me sharing this with, I deem you worthy. Oh, and you,
Yeah.
but the rest of you, you're not worthy. No, no, we're supposed to be open and loving and share our gifts and talents with anyone and everyone that wants to experience it. And I really hope that our world is transitioning, and females, females have been held back for hundreds of years of the whole, you know, not being on equal to a male, and
Yeah.
it's changing, fortunately, and it's long past time that it changes, and that society embraces the strong, passionate, compassionate woman that is a leader as well. You know, you don't have to just be a man to make an impact in this world.
Absolutely. It's time. And I think it's shifting a little bit,
Hmm.
but we
I
still
agree.
we still have some work to do.
Yes, yes, we do.
Yeah.
But it starts with beautiful examples like you and some of the other women that you listed, J Lo and Debbie Allen. It starts with those examples of strong, powerful women that didn't let um, being a female hold them back, and didn't listen to the naysayers, and didn't listen to the people trying to tell them that they should just go make babies and be a wife, rather than pursue their passion and their dreams,
Yeah.
you know, and stepping into that and going, I don't have to choose to be that, to be fulfilled.
Mm-mm.
My soul wants something different, and that's okay because we are all different. And my path is not wrong, it's different. But
Yes.
nobody has a right to say that it's wrong, you know, because nobody's lived your life. And I don't know how anybody could say it's wrong when you blessed so many people and inspired so many people and so on. Again, thankfully your mom made that choice,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
knowing it was going to be a challenge, knowing that she was going to have people look down on her, knowing she was going to have people ostracize her or criticize her. But think thankfully she persevered, and encouraged you to pursue your dream so that you could step into being the incredible, amazing, powerful leader and choreographer that you are today.
No, thank you.
So if somebody has a dancer out there and they want them to experience you, where are you teaching these days?
I teach at a dance convention called Radix Dance Convention. I think their website is radixdance.com.
And that's Radix.
Correct, radixdance.com. And then honestly, that's the only place I teach outside of Radix. I'm pursuing my creative and choreographic passions in the entertainment industry and loving that unpredictable ride of, just opening myself to whatever brings me joy. And so
Yes.
as I'm pitched different work or job opportunities, I go, that looks interesting. Would that bring me joy? Okay, I think I'm going to do it.
I love that. That is being true to yourself. And what a great example. Being true to yourself is so important. And that's some lesson that I've learned recently. It took me a long time, but I learned recently that really paying attention to what serves my soul, what feeds my soul. And I hope that everyone out there watching or listening, I hope you ask yourself that question, just like Tessandra did. Is this going to bring me joy? Does this fulfill me? And if it does, then do it. And if it doesn't, then don't. Right?
Oh, it's that simple.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So we just have a few minutes left, and I don't want to leave out, because I think people will be very interested to hear your experience in doing Dancing with the Stars in, it was China, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That was fun. It was a culture shock. Um,
I bet.
for sure. Um, but it was, awesome to have this language barrier with the celebrities that we were working with in China. And, we didn't speak the same language. But what I learned from that experience is that dance is universal. And through body language and movement, I built these amazing relationships with these Chinese people who were contestants on the show. and the professional dancers on the show through not a lot of words. And isn't that the power of dance, that
Mhm.
we can speak with our body and our hearts and we understand?
Absolutely. Yes, that is beautiful. Yeah, what was China like?
Oh man, it was interesting. It's so different than America.
Mhm.
I still think, you know, especially in the entertainment industry, it felt like, they don't really lift up strong women, or didn't then, on this particular show. It felt like, they just sort of wanted us to do what they wanted us to do. And I, in ways and moments felt unheard, but again, it's all about perspective. How do we look at this? For me, it was an opportunity to assert myself and go, I know you may not be used to a strong, powerful woman. I'm
Mhm.
going to stand my ground and believe in. And you hired me as a professional. So I want to give my all to you.
Yes, yes, for sure. And that, I bet that was quite eye-opening and experience. Like you said, kind of a culture shock, but also just not being able to communicate because of the language barrier, but being able to get past that through the body language and the heart. Um, and yes, it is the power of dance. Absolutely. It's the power of body language. It's the power of body movement. And we can communicate so much non-verbally,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. What an incredible experience that you
It
had.
was.
Yeah. Fantastic. So, is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience before we wrap this up?
Oh gosh. Pursue your dreams, trust yourself, find joy,
Love that.
know that you are perfectly imperfect.
Mhm.
And I love what you said, Donna, about, we it takes a village. We need others. We need human connection, and we are never alone. I know we just came off of a pandemic where we all felt isolated, and we're we're never alone. You just aren't. And you think you might be alone, but there's just someone a phone call away, or just someone who might walk down the street and smile at you and make your day a little better. We all have the power to do that. We can be that person that smiles at someone that's having a bad day and change their whole day.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Everything you just said, completely. We are better together. And I want everyone to know that I am sending you so much love and light. And if you are struggling with anything, please reach out. Reach out to me, reach out to your loved ones, those people that you trust that will support you, because you're not alone. And there are people that care. And there are people out there that will that have been through a lot. I know both Tessandra and I have, and we've overcome traumas from our childhood and have used them to propel us forward. And you can too. You're not alone, like Tessandra said. So reach out if you're feeling alone. Reach out if you need somebody to talk to. And yeah, and then look for Tessandra, because we're not done seeing amazing things from this woman, this multi-talented woman.
Thank you.
So thank you so, so much. It's been such an honor to have you on my show today, to get to share with the world who you are and the incredible things that you've been able to do, and just, sharing your heart and soul. I appreciate it so very much.
Thank
And
you.
again, pay attention to the energy going on right now with Mercury still retrograde. We have the solar eclipse in the sign of Gemini tomorrow with the new moon, the ring of fire. And so just really pay attention to your communication, your words, and yeah, just be mindful. So until next week, I will be live from Tosa Blue Mountain in Ecuador next week. So join me then. And until then, I hope you all have just a wonderful week. Namaste.